rights movements of the 1960s, newspapers became increasingly afraid and careful when reporting about the violation of civil rights in the South because the slightest error or critique would lead pro-segregation individuals or groups to claim that the article made them the victims of libel, a term used to refer to a statement that was published with the intent to harm someone's reputation and therefore make them vulnerable to lawsuits, as well as having obvious malintent and a reckless disregard of whether the information, is false or not. In this case, the New York Times newspaper, along with 4 African American ministers, were being sued by Alabama City Commissioner L.B. Sullivan because the newspaper printed a paid advertisement endorsed by civil rights activists, 4 of which were the ministers, which stated that the arrest of Martin Luther King Jr. in Alabama was made to freeze efforts to get rid of segregation. The commissioner claimed that since the advertisement included erroneous information and spoke ill of the Alabama City Police Department, it reflected on him poorly and was an intent to harm his reputation. Alabama law does not require prosecutors filing for libel to actually prove direct malintent, and that New York Times had in fact published unfactual information. However, since Sullivan had not actually proven that the publication had directly harmed him, and quote-unquote reckless disregard for the truth had also not been proven, the Times was unsatisfied and so filed to have the Supreme Court of the United States hear the case. The amendments that are most close to this case are the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment and the First Amendment, including the freedom of speech and freedom of press components. The Alabama court's ruling put into question whether the decision infringed on the First Amendment's right to freedom of speech and freedom of the press, especially because people who were actually working in the press felt like they were tiptoeing around everyone during that time. The Supreme Court ruled that for charges of libel to be put out, Sullivan had to have actual solid proof under Alabama law, but that since the mistake was due to carelessness and not actual malintent, no award for exemplary or punitive damages would be given. The court basically concluded that no award would be given because of a lack of actual malintent or recklessness, and that no First or 14th Amendment rights had been violated. What this meant for future generations was that public officials cannot attempt to sue the press and expect to receive an award for having their reputation be damaged, unless what they were actually accused of was very obviously put out with brash falsehood and vengeful or evil nature.